Hey there, beautiful. You ready for this?
Jack, is this necessary?
Of course. This will keep safe a lot of people here in New York. Could you imagine what might happen if this got into someone else's hands? At least I know in yours, it'll be safe.
He was right. But sometimes, being right costs you your life. I know this is a dream, or a nightmare really. I've relived it so many times. Every night I sleep, practically. I always wish I could change it, but it always remains the same. That was the worst night of my life. We're here because we have to transport a weapon with the potential to wipe out millions. Weapons like that are far more common than most realize. I've made it a point of collecting things like this. It pays millions to make certain things disappear. This weapon can create black holes. It sounds insane, but it is very real, and we didn't want that sort of thing in the wrong hands. Jack always was a good thief. He was a contact back in the day. Someone who came into my business just looking for pay. Late nights, secret meetings, sweet letters. Eventually, that kind of thing makes a woman weak at the knees and vulnerable in the heart. We'd grown close. Very, very close. He'd taken my heart. I wouldn't say stolen it, only because my heart was my own at the time. The nights, all the sweet letters, the sweet love. It had all led to this singular moment. This beautiful destruction of sorts. It's amazing how all roads in life lead to death. I was hoping we had more time, but that was not the case this night. Yeah, it'll be safe. I had tried to put away the feeling of dread within me and focus on the job at hand. I couldn't. I knew something was wrong.
Come on, Marlene. All we have to do is get this weapon out of here, and it's done. The hard part is over.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. The moment the words left my lips, it happened. The doors opened. There was nothing but laughter. It was a setup. Jack had been doing surveillance for months, as it would turn out. He was only seeing what they wanted him to. Everything. It'd all been a setup to lure Jack here. The weapon was real enough, but I suppose the people who had it weren't fully aware of how to use it. Perhaps they didn't have the brains or interest, or perhaps they were saving it. They had brains enough to set this up, though. Perhaps Jack had stolen from one too many people, or maybe just the wrong person. Blue was known for killing, and he did it well. Jack was known for stealing. It was his life. He had a good heart, though. He was a regular Robin Hood of sorts, stealing for good and often giving to the less fortunate. He always said he'd grown up living in the slums. He learned what life could be, and how it'd kick the shit out of you, and then curb stomp you while you were down. He wasn't wrong. However, he had it in his mind that he should help the other suffering souls. He did it well, and he got quite the name for himself in doing so. Then again, the cops were never far behind, and his list of enemies was massive. I still hear his sick laughter. A thin man, very muscular, bald, always wore a blue suit. Blue always said he'd get Jack one day. Today, he would.
Stupid Jack. I've waited for this moment for too long. Thought you would come up in here and steal from me again, did you? I got some news for you, Jack. You aren't leaving here alive.
Come now, Blue. Don't do anything rash.
Kill the son of a bitch.
Everything was a blur at that point. Perhaps it was adrenaline. Or maybe it was that sinking feeling that this was going to be it. I couldn't shake that feeling. The moment I woke up that morning, I had it. Jack had shoved me behind cover and pulled a gun, firing immediately. I pulled out a Magnum and began to fire, but I kept close to the pillar I was behind. Jack turned and dove behind a wall far opposite of me. A smile, that handsome smile, a wink, and then a kick to send the weapon in my direction. I got the bag, made sure the weapon was there, and secured it before giving a sharp look his way. I'm sure he couldn't hear me over the hail of gunfire, but I'm also sure he knew what I was saying. "Don't go. Let's get out of here." I shouted this into the deafening amount of bullets and gunfire.
Love, the only chance you have of keeping that weapon safe is if you get out of here. The only chance of you getting out of here is if I do something more stupid than usual. No, I'll always live on in your dreams. I want you to make a life with someone, settle down and have kids. Do everything I wrote to you. I wish we always could. Always know, I love you.
No. He nodded, smiled once more, a single tear falling from his face as he turned and ran into the gunfire head first. He'd pulled a grenade launcher out, started letting loose on the gunman. He'd worn a vest, but that wasn't going to protect him from this much gunfire. Explosions rang out. I snapped to and began to run for the exit, firing behind me until I had no more ammo. I took a few, but it was already too late. I was grazed. Jack was bleeding from all over, and Blue had already fired the kill shot. One to Jack's head. I stood at the entrance, watched his body fall to the ground, and Jack's final surprise go rolling from his hand. He'd pulled the pin and let go of the grenade upon death. It rolled. I remember running out the entrance. The last I saw Jack's dead body, and Blue's eyes light up in shock. I'd gotten out, put the weapon away, into my car. I sped off as the explosions rang out from the old warehouse. That was that. No more Jack. No more beautiful poetry. No more letters of love. My heart was dead. Inside, I was dead. I awoke from my nightmares to see N standing over me.
Good morning, ma'am. Are you ready?
Yeah, and how much time we got left? I'd pondered what I would do next. The black rose was the weapon I'd gotten the day Jack died. A seemingly implausible option, if you could even consider it an option. I wanted to bring it with me, just in case.
I've already stocked the others with the necessary weaponry in case things get out of hand. I've also packed your supplies for special cases like this one.
In it is also, well, the black rose. The weapon didn't really have much of a name to my knowledge. I named it the Black Rose because it brought death to my love, and it was capable of dealing death to millions. It seemed fitting at the time.